Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to demystify SAP's Business Technology Platform, or BTP, as you'll hear it called. So if you've heard that acronym floating around but you're not totally sure what it is or what it does, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're breaking it all down for absolute beginners. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with a really simple analogy, seriously, it's all about cars, to get our heads around different cloud services. Then we'll connect that back to the world of software, figure out what BTP actually is, peek inside at its 4 core functions, and finally, show you how you can get started with it yourself. You know, to really understand something like BTP, which is a platform as a service, you kind of have to understand the other options out there. And believe it or not, the easiest way to explain all this complicated tech stuff is by talking about something we all get: transportation. So first up is the old school way, on-premises. Think of this like owning your own car. It's yours. You have complete control. But that also means you're responsible for literally everything: the driving, the gas, the insurance, the oil changes, and yeah, fixing it when it breaks down. It's total control for sure, but it's also total responsibility. Okay, now let's take one step up. That's infrastructure as a service, or IaaS. This is a lot like leasing a car long-term. The leasing company gives you the car and they handle the big stuff, the major servicing. You're still the one driving it and putting gas in the tank, but that underlying machine, someone else is managing it for you. Then you've got the total opposite end of the spectrum, software as a service, or SaaS. This is the most hands-off option. It's basically like calling an Uber. You don't care about the car, the driver, the maintenance, none of it. You just say, "Take me here," and you enjoy the ride. Simple as that. And that brings us right into the sweet spot in the middle: platform as a service, or PaaS. And this is exactly where SAP BTP lives. This is just like renting a car. The rental company hands you the keys to a vehicle that's fueled up, serviced, and ready to go. You get to decide where you drive it and how you get there. You just have to do the driving and, top up the tank along the way. They give you the platform, you create the journey. Right, so let's shift gears now. Let's see how that whole car analogy perfectly translates into how companies build and run their software. We're moving from the highway to the world of ones and zeros. And this is where it all clicks into place. On the left, with on-premises, your team is responsible for a massive stack of stuff. I'm talking the physical servers, the network cables, the operating systems, all of it. But with PaaS, look at that. The provider handles that whole bottom chunk. It just vanishes from your to-do list. This is so important because it frees you up to focus only on the part that makes your business special: your own code. So with that whole analogy under our belts, we are ready to officially meet the star of today's explainer: the SAP Business Technology Platform. To put it as simply as possible, BTP is SAP's version of that pause model we just talked about. It's a single, unified place in the cloud that gives you a whole toolbox. A toolbox for building new software, for making your existing apps talk to each other, and for digging into your data to find insights. And here's the real takeaway: BTP is all about speed and innovation. Instead of your teams wasting time and money setting up servers and managing databases, they can just start building. BTP is doing all that heavy lifting in the background, so your people can focus on what they do best: solving business problems. Okay, let's pop the hood and see what's actually inside. What can you do with BTP? Well, everything it offers is pretty neatly organized into 4 main areas. We're going to call them the 4 pillars. Yep, just 4. These pillars all work together to give you this complete environment for building and running your business. So let's take them one by one. First up, we've got application development and automation. This is your build stuff pillar. And what's cool is it gives you options. You can use simple drag and drop tools to build apps really fast, even if you're not a coder. Or your pro developers can use powerful frameworks to build really complex, hardcore applications. It's also where you automate all those boring, repetitive tasks. Pillar number 2 is all about data and analytics. I mean, every business runs on data, right? So BTP gives you the tools to actually manage it and make sense of it all. This includes a super fast database that's designed for the cloud, plus all the tools you need to spot trends and turn all those numbers into smart decisions. The third pillar is integration, and trust me, this one is a really big deal. Think of it like a universal translator for all your software. The integration suite is what makes sure that all your different systems, whether they're from SAP or not, can actually talk to each other and share data without any drama. And finally, our fourth pillar, artificial intelligence. SAP has its own AI called Joule, and the smart thing they're doing is weaving it into everything on the platform. So AI isn't some extra thing you bolt on later. Nope, it's right there, baked in, ready to help you build faster, analyze data smarter, and just work better. And here's a perfect example of what that actually means. For a developer, this is an absolute game changer. You can literally just type out what you want your code to do, in plain English, and the AI will start writing it for you. It's like having a super smart assistant sitting next to you all day long.
Okay, so now you've got a really good picture of what BTP is and what it's for. So the next logical question is, all right, this sounds cool. How do I get started?
Well, the best part is that SAP has made it really easy to get going. They've laid out a super clear path for anybody who's curious and wants to start their own BTP journey. It's basically a 3-step process, and it's awesome. First, you can sign up for a 90-day free trial to just get in there and mess around. Then, you can hit the SAP Learning Hub, which is packed with free courses to teach you the ropes. And once you're feeling good about it, you can go take a certification exam to officially prove your new skills. And that's a wrap on our tour of BTP. We started with a simple car rental and ended up with a powerful platform for innovation. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Now that you know what's in the toolbox, what problem are you going to solve first?